before I begin, I just want to say this. Bear with me. All is relevant, right? So I did a video about this guy called Young Pharaoh. I don't know if you all are familiar with him, but he's a young dude that's out there teaching the youth. And I don't have a problem with it at all. You understand? But Young Pharaoh, what he did, and like I said, this is all relevant to what I'm talking about, this topic, about, family members and business. What he did is he made a lot of remarks, dealing with the Jewish community, right? Now, the problem that I had is this. This is a place of business, right? And even I have gone above and beyond in certain instances far as saying things that weren't appropriate, right? Now, what I'm saying is this. For those that's calling me a sellout in the comment section of that video that I did about Young Pharaoh, for those that are telling me, well, you ain't nothing but a coon and this and that and so forth, I want to say this, right? It's obvious that you are young and naive and you don't understand anything about business. First and foremost, I've heard somebody say something about some constitutional rights and all the rest of that stuff, the freedom of speech, right? You have no freedom of speech and you don't have no rights when you're in a place of business that you do not own. YouTube is owned by Google, and Google sets guidelines, rules, and regulations. And if you do not abide by them, then they will cancel you. That plain and simple, and Young Pharaoh is not an exception to the rules. He does not run YouTube. He does not run Google. Plain and simple. And he is not an asset to the company. And neither am I. It's not like this guy is bringing in 30 million views per video. So at the end of the day, all is relevant. When you're in a place of business, you need to conduct yourself like you're in a place of someone else's business. I seen in the comment section of that video that I did about Young Pharaoh, which the guy gave a great example. If you're in someone else's house, you don't have the option of having dirty shoes on and rubbing it in somebody's carpet or going in their refrigerator and doing what you want to do in their house. So why is it that you think that you can be on YouTube and say any and everything that you want to say and say, oh, this is a free platform and this is my channel? No, it's not. No, it's not. I know that. I know that. This is the reason why that my two channels are nothing but a form of marketing and advertising. And in hopes that people buy into my brand. Meaning that when I come out with a product, when I actually come out with something that people can buy into, they'll buy into it. Other than that, these videos are just what it is. And it bothers me that you all, especially you young people, are so young and naive. I don't know, one of these people said, I totally disagree with everything that you're saying. You mean to tell me you didn't get no type of knowledge and information from the channel? The video that I did on Young Pharaoh? I'm going to leave it like this and then I'm going to move on, right? Look at where Young Pharaoh being Young Pharaoh got it. And look at where I'm at. That plain and simple. You can call me a coon. You can call me all you want to call me. But guess what? I continue to spread my knowledge. For now, his shit is discontinued. So it's obvious that he was doing something wrong. It's obvious that he was rubbing the wrong people the wrong way. And I didn't say whether I agree with what he said or not. I said, yo, he could have said it a different way. He didn't have to be. Yo, I seen on Twitter, he said, I got 50,000 for a rabbi who want to test me on Judaism or whether it's right or wrong and this and that and so forth. You don't do that. It's the way you conduct yourself. It's the way you conduct yourself and move around in this world that I had to learn. And I learned that from several different mistakes. And I'm trying to prevent you, young people, from making the same dumbass mistakes that I made and Young Pharaoh made. Excuse me, Young Pharaoh is making right now. And y'all calling me a coon. Because of the fact that you don't know how the game is played. Which brings me to this point. I've thought about this over and over and over and over in my mind for years upon years upon years. Let me say this first. I have several family members, right? And I've been wanting to get into business with those several family members for years, because each one of them have a talent that I can use, right? I've been trying to get the mother of my children, her family members. She has a lot of family members, and for us to come together and do a business, and it has failed. It has failed so many times, and I've ran into so many people, black families that have black families that have tried over and over and over and over and over again to go into business with with their other family members, right? I've even had people that have had companies and they practice nepotism. They hired their aunt, they hired their uncle, their cousin, their brothers and sisters, and it never worked. And it's crazy to me how at the end of the day, we can't manage to work together as a family business. But that was the surface of it. It's what I realized. Is that all these years, I've really been wrong. That at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you the reason why we can't work together as a family. And your family that's black, and another family that's black, and another family that's black. The first thing is this. We haven't had any type of training. We don't know we don't know nothing about business. And it's not taught to us. Because at the end of the day, I hate to bring up race, but for now, and it's a shame to say, but it's the truth. What do y'all want? You want me to lie to you? But it's the truth. We have to model ourselves from white businesses. You know how many white family businesses there are? Johnson & Johnson is a family business that has been passed down from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. So you can't tell me that family businesses don't exist, because they do. The only problem is when you look at the black community, we don't train. We don't train our families. Businesses is not promoted. All we teach our children to do is to fill out an application and get a job. That plain and simple. So if you ask that particular person that has that type of state of mind, hey, come over here, let's work together. They don't know. They don't know that. They weren't trained that in school. They didn't go to business school. They went to high school, public school, and public school don't teach you nothing about stocks, bonds, money, trades, none of that. Public school teaches you how to get a job, how to work. That's it. At one particular time, they used to teach trades in our schools, such as plumbing, electrician work, auto mechanic. They used to teach that, but now they don't. And you wonder why these people graduate from high school and go work at McDonald's, because you don't properly train them. There'll always be an underclass. Always. There'll always be a low class, and that's what they want. It's a shame. It's a shame, and it's like we blame one another, but in reality, our families are not set up. Black families, that is, are not set up, trained from when they were young all the way up till they, got older to run a business. So you can't expect Reggie, you hire Reggie, that's your cousin, to be an accountant. He don't know numbers at all. Of course he gonna mess it up. And I'm not making an excuse. I'm just telling you that at the end of the day, this is my word. I truly believe that the powers that be really don't want us to have black family businesses. And that at the end of the day, if we train our family members, and I know there's an exception to the rules, and I know what y'all gonna say in the comment section, well, you know, I did train them, and I'm talking about really, really train our family members, like from the time they're able to have a conscience. You can't expect Reggie to learn something at 30 years old. I mean, to like totally get it, it has to be natural to them. Hear me out. My son right now is in the process, and he's 14 years old. He's in the process of purchasing stocks. He's online every day. He looks at the NASDAQ every day. He really wants to get into Tesla. You know what I'm saying? But the stock is like, right now it went up to seven something. I told him to invest when it was at like 6. I didn't really have it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because me, I'll be having it, but then it's like, anyway, I don't want to tell my business about stocks or whatever have you, but I'll say this. So, you know, he wanted, excuse me. He's in the process of investing in stocks right now. I have him right now on his shit. So by the time he turns my age, he's gonna be straight. Period. You gotta teach them when they have a conscience. If they're able to understand numbers and business and all of that stuff at 5, then you gotta give it to them. It's only right. Y'all had to excuse me, man. This pollen's killing me. Like I told you before, there's a reason why I'm wearing sunglasses in the morning, because I be tearing up and then my eyes get swollen, my nose is all. Man, I went through a whole 15, 20 minutes of getting myself right before I even got on this video. But anyway, yeah, man, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, man. I truly believe that there are powers that be that definitely don't want black businesses. They don't want them. It's a threat to them. It's not just, well, you know, it's black people fault, it's this and that, so forth. Let me ask you this question. Is the climate set for black people, or for black families that have black family businesses? Seriously. Is it in our curriculum, in our schools? Is it? And I'm not yelling at you. I'm just passionate, with my words. Is it? Please let me inform me. Can we easily just look how difficult it is? Can we take out a loan in order to invest in our business? You know how many black people have ideas and they're working a 9 to 5 and they can't afford to invest in themselves? You know how many black people work from 9 to 5 and they struggle every day to get up because they don't want to work for the man. They don't want a handout. They don't want to check. They want to create their own money. They want to make their own money. But there are no programs like that. There's no money out there like that for black families to create black family businesses. And the type of training I'm talking about, you got to take time off to do that. How many black families do you know that have the money, the resources to say, you know what, Ricky, I want you to be my accountant, but you're going to have to go through this class for 2, 3, 4, 5 months. I'm going to pay for it, and I'm going to pay for your bills while you're in the process of doing that. Because let me tell you something. We kick our goddamn children out at 18. White people don't do that. White people will say, Johnny, you're going to stay here. And while you're staying here, you're going to live rent free. And I'm going to show you the ropes of how to run the business and everything. And then after I see that you're capable of running it, I'm going to hand it over to you. While we're kicking our children out at 18. 18, you got to go. Who's teaching us that? Who's teaching us to kick our goddamn children out at 18 years old? My children ain't going nowhere. They're going to be 35, 40. If they don't feel like going anywhere, but yet and still they're productive, I'm not gonna keep you. You're not gonna stay with me for the rest of your life if you're not productive. But if you fucking productive, oh man, please, you can stay as long as you want. Period. Until you get your shit together. I had a friend, right? Went to high school with him, right? He graduated, mother and father, no single moms. He was raised by a mother and father. The mom was a nurse, the father was a plumber, I think. Anyway, they sent him off to college. He went to North Carolina A&T. For anyone that knows about North Carolina A&T, that is a great HBCU, right? It's up there with the white colleges, right? He went to North Carolina A&T. He dropped out his third year, something like that, and then he went back. While in the process, his first year, he stayed in a dormitory. His second year, let me take it back. They bought him a truck. Then he drove up to North Carolina A&T. He stayed in a dorm for 1 year. His mother told him, yo, you can stay, you can have your own apartment. The only thing that you have to do is pay your cell phone bill. That's it. That's it. We'll pay for the lights, we'll pay for this, and we pay for that, right? He had 2 other brothers, right? So it's 3 of them. The deal was for all 3 of them went to North Carolina A&T, all 3 of them graduated. The deal was with them is that they could stay there they could stay in that apartment. Each one of them had their own individual apartments. They can stay in an apartment for the remainder of the 4 years that they go to college. Once they get out, they have 1 year to live rent-free. After that, they either gonna have to pay for that rent, that apartment, or they can move back home and sort it out back home rent-free. Do you hear that type of setup? And that's like taboo in the black community. If I had that when I was growing up, if you had that when you was growing up, man, there'd be so many damn businesses on this planet till it'd be crazy. Black-owned businesses. I'm not making an excuse for black-owned family businesses that sell bad products, that provide a bad service, or just single black-owned businesses. I'm not making excuses, but there are particular reasons why we fail. Because we start off wrong. And that you can't blame black people 100%. You can't. You just can't. Like, I'll give you an example. I'll go back to young Pharaoh. If he had, I know this man don't have a father figure in his life. If he did, he wouldn't. The father figure or the elder would have told him, don't say that shit, man. Don't approach it like this. Keep your eyes on the prize. If you really truly believe that Judaism is this, and this, look, play it by the book. And then once you're on a platform that's bigger than life, then expose them to A, B, and C. But you can't be talking crap like this is a rap battle. These are rabbis you're talking about. These are people that are bigger than you, that are in higher places. Look at what happened to you. This goes to show that you were not that big on YouTube, because they canceled you. And I know what your followers are gonna say. You hater, and I can't wait until young Pharaoh get up here and rebuttal and this and that and so forth. Let me tell you something, man. I'm wiser than young Pharaoh. I am. I've been on this planet way longer than he has. And I know how to play the game. I know how to do it. I've had my bumps and bruises. You can look at my previous videos a year or 2 ago, and I'll show you those videos. You'll show me those videos, and I'll be like, yeah, I shouldn't have said that. But I'm man enough to admit it. I'm man enough to say, hey, I made a mistake. What you all do, you dick riders of young Pharaoh, will sit back and justify his fuckery instead of saying, yeah, he did fuck up. That plain and simple. He yelling and screaming, talking about suing YouTube. Man, you ain't got the money to sue. It's not even YouTube, it's Google. Google owns YouTube. You don't have that type of money. Stop it. Period. I'm never gonna get to the point, and I'm not damning myself. I'm just never gonna get to that status of where I need to be, which is a 500,000 or 1 million subscribers. You wanna know why? Because what I'm saying is very much unpopular. Period. Because I'm literally telling you all the truth. I'm literally giving you the keys to life, and y'all don't even want it. That plain and simple. I had to. This is the reason why I know I'm not gonna be big like a Young Pharaoh or a Polite, and like I said, I ain't with that conscious community stuff anyway. You know what I'm saying? But this is the reason why I'm not gonna be that big. It's because of the fact that, you know how there's two sides of the story, and then there's the truth. That's how I think. I think three different ways. I think the way that I think the way that you think, and then I think, and I search for the truth. And I give you all two aspects, two ways to look at it. And then the third, the truth. That's it. Most people give you one aspect, and that's it. Period. Most of these channels out here will tell you how they think and how they feel. That's it. I'm going to tell you how I think and how I feel, and I'm going to tell you how that person thinks and how they feel, and then I'm going to tell you the truth. That plain and simple. At the end of the day, man, I had to go back and I had to reevaluate why black-owned family businesses fail, or why we can't come together as a family and form our own business. And it's not just because we don't want to do this, we don't want to do that. It's just this stigma that we can't do it. Well, I can't rely on him to do that. And it's training. That's what it boils down to. Training. It boils down to training, and then also the ego gets in the way. I'm not going to say that doesn't get in the way. Hell, my father said something to me a couple years back that rubbed me the wrong way. He was like, "What you trying to do, be a better father than me?" Than I? Yes! But I'm not trying, I'm doing it. And you should want me to be a better father than you were to me. That's crazy. We, as being blood linked, should want our families to do better than what we've done. And if you go at it in that approach, then you're going at it totally wrong in the first place. So there's not just one specific answer or solution to the problem of black-owned businesses failing or not existing. You understand? But I just gave you a few reasons why. There's more, and people need to build on it. I'm just one person. The only thing I'm trying to do is just do, my duty. What I'm supposed to do is each one teach one. That plain and simple. You don't like it, get off my channel. That plain. I don't need you. You don't like what I said about Young Pharaoh? Well, go follow him. Oops, I'm sorry. Oh, he does have the Young Pharaoh Higher Perspective up. I don't know if he's gonna use that channel. He hasn't used it in 3 months from what I've seen. Hopefully he can use that. Other than that, man, y'all ain't gonna get it. You young people are not gonna get it. We need you just like you need us. Because guess what? You have a perspective in life as well as I do. If you shut one's perspective down, then you're totally gonna be handicapped. Listen to what I'm saying. Don't go back 10 years from now and look at this video and say, "God damn, this dude was right." And I was so young and naive. Don't do that. Don't look at this video in 2031 and say, "God damn, he was right. I should have listened to him." Because that's what we continue to do every generation. I gotta do right now that I can reflect back and say to myself, "Oh man, I should have listened to this dude. He was totally right." name is Langston 2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe. Definitely share this video.